Hare Krishna. So, welcome to the Saturday Bhagavad Gita class. We are on chapter 3, and we are on the last section of chapter 3, wherein Krishna is talking about the importance of Karma Yoga and answering Arjuna's few questions, remaining questions from the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita about how one should be leading his life as a leader, though he may be interested in Dhyana Yoga, but still be doing Karma Yoga and set the example. So from 33 to 35 now, we have read that act according to your nature. That is the essence of Karma Yoga. In 34, he says the follow the regulative principles to avoid attachments and aversions. Both are not good. Attachment as well as aversion. Aversion also creates attachment actually. So attachment and the aversion. See, when we say I am averted to this, that means whenever we see it, we are still getting that feeling of no, I don't want it. I don't want it. Though we want it in the heart of our heart, but still we try to show that no, I'm averted to it. So it's kind of a attachment again. So it's a reverse process rather. So it is better to follow the karma yoga. That means doing your prescribed duty by following all the rules and regulations, at the same time following all the 4 regulatory principles and doing your duty. In 35, Krishna talks about do your own duty, not others' duty. And Srila Prabhupada says in his purport that the devotees should take it that his duty has been given personally by Krishna. Not that he is just doing because of family responsibility. Yes, family responsibility is there. There is social responsibility. There is a low roles and uh, uh, there could be role responsibility of a person. So even then, all this put together, actually the duty or the responsibility has been given to us for that particular role by Krishna. That is what is the understanding that a devotee should have. Now the next section, in which 36 to 42, Krishna talks about be aware of lust and anger. Like in the last section, Krishna talks about one should perform one's duty in Krishna consciousness according to one's own nature without attachment or aversion. And now in this one, Krishna talks about be aware of lust and anger from 36 to 42. So it is the last section of third chapter. So we see how, in the summary, the very high level, the verse 36 talks about that Arjuna wants to understand more about our tendencies to have attachments and aversions. 37 talks about lust, kama, anger follows because it is so hard to satisfy lust. So it is frustrating that I want that, I want this, I want that. It's all lusty desires, And there are various degrees of this lust that is talked about in the verse 38. In 39 and 40, Krishna talks about where does this lust sits? In 3 stages, 3 strategic places. So which one should we attack first to try to defeat it? So that's a very important point, that where does it sit and how strategically we can kill it in order to come out of it. And 41, 42, 43, Krishna talks about the senses and how to regulate them and follow the rules and regulations. So up till now, the principles have been talked about. Now he's going to talk about the rules and regulations around that. So the order is around the wrong way. So one should assert oneself in the right position and fully engage in devotional service. Okay. So if we look at the verse 36, what does Krishna say? Sorry, the Arjuna says, Arjuna uvacha atha kena payuktoyam papam charati purushaha anichannapi varashneya baladiva niyojitaha. Arjuna said, O descendant of Vrishni, by what is one impelled to sinful acts, even unwillingly, as if engaged by force? So it is by unwillingly. Unwillingly, you are trying to do something which may not be your swabhava per se, but you are still doing it. And how you are doing it, that is what one has to see. And in order to see that, how Krishna then talks about Krishna gives the answer to this particular question, that Atakkena prayuktoyam papam charati purushaha anichanapi vashneya baladiva nayojata. So here specifically Arjun is saying that he's a Vrishni. So he is the son of Vrishni, right? Because he is from that particular dynasty. And that's what Arjun is proposing him to call here in this particular verse. So Srila Prabhupada's translation very specifically talks about ichhas and anichhas. So it is truly the anicca that not exactly when desire comes, we accept that desire. Overall, that desire is not there, but when temptation comes, and that time, if the desire comes, it overpowers us. Then we say yes to the desire. Or we say no to the desire. Only a practitioner can do, and a practitioner can only say no. The normal person will not be able to say no. He will always be able to say this, yes. For example, an addicted person, or people, those who are addicted to some bad habit. See, I don't want to drink alcohol, but still he drinks the same. So in normal state of consciousness, we don't want to do such things. This is most relevant section of Bhagavad Gita in present time. Okay, you must have heard of, Alcohol uh, Anonymous Society. Alcohol Anonymous is the society wherein when you register, uh, they don't disclose your identity, that you are so and so person and you have registered to get rid of alcoholism. Okay, so that is alcohol anonymous kind of. So there are lots of other social organizations who help people coming out of such addictions. They have different methods of doing so. However, Krishna here and Arjun's question is that how in a normal state of consciousness we don't want to do such things. This is most relevant for us. So there is a big sport. If we take the example of His Holiness Bir Krishna Goswami Maharaj, he was a very rich person. His father was a very rich person. And that time there was a sports car came into the market. He was telling his story at my place, when he came once. So he said that I wanted that car and my father immediately bought that car for me. And he said, but then I thought, what will I do with this car? From point A to point B, I have to just go do that. He left everything and joined Srila Prabhupada's ashram. So that kind of transformation can happen to only few who understands that what is going to be the addiction for him. Today it's a sports car, tomorrow it can be something else. Day after tomorrow it can be something else. So lust, the desire, the karma does not have any limit. You have to set your own limit that where you want to stop.
It will keep increasing. Once you get something, you will get next. You need next.
Yeah.
Then next, then next, then next.
Then next. So it's always it's a unfulfilling desire, Always keep on coming, keep on coming. आज ये चाहिए, कल वो चाहिए, परसों ये चाहिए, फिर नरसों ये चाहिए.
Unless until you direct it in a right direction.
Yeah. So that's where the control comes into picture. And how this control will come into picture, that's what Krishna is talking to talk about. So, in nutshell, all of us find there is some enemy within us which forces us to act in such a way. What is that force? Where does it originate from? And how we can go around it or how we can control it? That is the Arjun's question to Krishna. Now, the next verse is very beautiful. You all should by heart this one. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha
Shri Bhagavan Vacha
Kama Esha Krodha Esha
Kama Esha Krodha Esha
Rajo Guna Samudbhavaha
Rajoguna
Rajoguna
Samuddhava
samudbhavaha
Mahashano Mahapapam
Mahashano
Mahashano
Mahapapam
Mahapapa
Vidyehi Namiha Vairinam.
Vedehi
Vidhinam
Namahi
Hi
Varinam.
Varinam. Superstar.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, it is lust only, Arjun, which is born of contact with the material mode of passion and later transformed into wrath, and which is the all-devouring sinful enemy in this world. So it is the lust only, Krishna is saying. It is nothing else but the lust. So it is a karma.
So
Kama
this
esha krodha
this
esha.
calm is only like a kind of sexual desire, or it is all kind of desires?
All kind of desires. But normally we relate it to sexual desire. When we call the lust. So lusty desire, we normally, talk about when it comes to sexual desire. However, it can be any kind of desire which is related to sense gratification. Does it make sense?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So Arjuna's question is what? What impels us to commit sin? In the last verse. So Krishna's answer is, it is lust and anger. If we don't fulfill our desire, we get angry. So for everyone, lust is the enemy. Lust transmogrify, transform into ugly form, into anger. And Krishna is independently blissful. We are dependently blissful. See? So we are tiny. If we try to enjoy independent of Krishna, what we want to independently try and enjoy the happiness we get is also tiny. On the other hand, when we enjoy with Krishna, our happiness is huge. This particular sentence is very vaguely understood even by the devotees of Krishna. You might have seen the people, remaining in the Krishna consciousness for such a long time. They have a guru to whom they are following for a good long time. One fine day they come and say, no, I'm not able to do my 16 rounds. I want to change my altogether, what do you say, sampradaya itself. They want to go to a sampradaya where they are following Krishna consciousness, may not be following 4 regulative principles. So to that extent, this desire, the lust, can take you to. And I have seen the devotees who have been there for decades long in this yatra of ours. And they come to this situation wherein, they are not able to, uh, control themselves in order to, fulfill their desire. They can't control themselves. And they come to the level of, rejecting the guru and then change the sampradaya as well.
A
So,
lot of people personally I know, Prabhu, that who was associated with ISKCON from quite some time. Then they take a initiation from some other sampradaya, because the four regulative principle which we talks about is for not some people, for majority of people, it's very difficult to maintain. Right?
yeah, very hard. And I mean, leave aside the chanting 16 rounds every day.
Yeah, living
That is the
aside.
hardest part.
Yes,
That
yes.
is the
Even
hardest part.
the four regulative principle about eating, meeting, sleep. So those also very difficult.
Yes, correct. So I don't know. I mean, look, we should be doing what is best for us in order to give this, message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Srila Prabhupada to the world. But how much people are able to follow it, and what is the level of understanding they have, what is the level of their uh, acceptance to this, but we cannot make people, or we cannot force people to follow. That is one thing I have, realized over a period of time. The moment I try to become hard on people that, you must chant 8 rounds every day, then they will not follow you. You can only request people. Have you chanted your rounds? Have you chanted your rounds? Like sadhana card also. I cannot be that, hard on people, because it's very difficult. With their daily routine, if they are able to fulfill, they can fulfill the duty of filling the sadhana card. But what if they are not following the, you know, intricacies of that, whether they are doing 6 rounds or not? Who has seen it? They themselves are the, witness to that. Whether they are reading, whether they're listening to it, whether they are revising the verses or not. It is up to them to do it. So the moment we try to become hard on people, they are going to leave. You can see that in our classes also. So many people came and left and came and left and came and left. And some of them were initiated devotees. Initial classes, they are fine. They're very, very happy. Oh, everything is hunky-dory. The moment it comes to verses and by-hearting them, this, then they start, dropping off. So I don't know, I mean, what method of teaching one should apply to this new generation of people, that they, in our time, I did the Bhakti Shastri, for many years I was learning with Vijay Gopikesh Prabhu, we were so strong, I mean, in terms of attending the class every week. With our children, we used to go to the classes from here to there, driving from one place to another place, and in a very small room, we used to sit 35, 40 people we used to sit. And that time, 35, 40 people were attending the class regularly. Now it is online, still people don't come. Forget about in-person classes. Shri Shakti Mataji, you have the same experience with the Prabhas Krishna Prabhu as well?
There are set of people who are there. They are there, Prabhuji.
Yeah, but
but
not
not all.
same
Not all.
people all the time, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so that's the thing, it's everywhere. It is like that.
Yeah,
The people's focus of attention, their regularity in the classes is going down with
yeah,
time, with time. And people enjoy coming to the festivals. This side, कोई event है तो अच्छा लगेगा उनको आने में. But however, they don't want to do it like every day, every week, classes and chanting of
yeah,
rounds, etc. It's very hard for them to do it. So I'm still struggling on how to uh, you know give this message to people. Okay.
yeah,
So coming back, so the lust that Krishna is talking about here is Krishna is independently blissful, and we are dependently blissful because our bliss is always dependent on Krishna. So when we have a desire to enjoy separate from Krishna, we get disconnected, which causes bondage and suffering. Principally, yes, we agree. How many people are able to follow this? I don't know. So when a person is having Indriya Tripti Jigyasa, he will not do Brahma Jigyasa. We talk about everything about the Brahma Jigyasa, right? But here the Indriya Tripti Jigyasa, Indriya Tripti means sense gratification. So when we talk about the sense gratification, Indriya Tripti Jigyasa, that time it becomes an issue which is very, very hard for people to control. And we are living in an era where it is so much of software development, ready-made tools available, softwares are available, applications are available, AI is available. So the focus of people's attention is very, very small. So while they are watching TV, they also have a mobile in the hand. They are watching something here, watching something there. I don't know where they are focusing. And at the same time, if some devotees are having a mala also in the hand, इधर भी देख रहे हैं, ये भी कर रहे हैं, सामने भी देख रहे हैं. I don't know what they're doing and for whom are they doing it. See, my intention is not to, you know, blaspheme any devotee, or I'm just commenting on a certain issue which is very, very uh, hard in these days to, tackle, handle across the globe. I mean, I've been talking to so many devotees, even Gauranga Prabhu and Gaur Gopal Prabhu and others. I said, it's a problem everywhere. Not only this problem, there is a problem within the devotees across the temples having lots of groupism politics. So all this, the lust, desire, karma, comes over there as well. Because that power to hold a certain position is also a lust. Because it fulfills their internal desire to lead a huge group of people, position. Like I'm in the management committee, I am this, I am that, you know. So all these they don't understand that whatever theory that we have understood so far, we are failing to uh, practically live that. So it is similar to when we are surfing the channels, on the television. We find that no channel is making them happy. So they keep changing channels, thinking maybe next channel. See, some people may do it on the iPad. Some people will do it on the iPhone or Android phone. It is similar. So everywhere it is like that. We are keep on surfing, surfing, surfing. कहीं तो अच्छा लगेगा. लेकिन nowhere we find happiness. Find somewhere, maybe kirtan, singing, you know. try and make some good tunes for kirtan, like Mrigant makes is now trying to make good tunes of our Hare Krishna Mahamantra. But can everyone do that? I don't know how long he's going to do that, but I'm not saying that he's the role model, but at least he's trying to do that. Can others do it like that? So it's a very important point that one should be focusing upon. Yeah. Any question or any realization, any comment from your end?
We know a lot of things, right? But
Yeah.
at times we, as in this two shlokas we speak about, right? So because of the all those things, we tend to forget things. We're not able to control our minds, and mind take over the intelligence.
Yeah.
So those things are, I think, the only way to control that is to Harinam Kirtan, and to keep ourselves always engaged, or what exactly is the best process?
See, each one has a different capability. See, if I say that, like Abhishek Prabhu, you know Abhishek Prabhu, right?
Oh, Abhishek.
He takes Abhishek Prabhu is okay, the one who teaches Bhakti Vaibhav now.
Okay.
He gives Bhagavatam classes. Well, he's a, I mean, I can't say disciple, but he is in the shelter of Burjan Prabhu.
Mm,
So he's kind of a disciple of Burjan Prabhu. Burjan Prabhu is the one who has written a BG Notes book
mm,
with summary notes. He has written that book. So he lives in Melbourne. Now he's suffering with prostate cancer at the moment. He's in a very bad state currently.
mm,
So he finds solace in reading Bhagavatam, because he's totally devoted to the literary side of things. He
mm,
finds a joy when he reads Bhagavatam.
mm.
He finds joy in reading Chaitanya Charitamrita. But you and I, can we be like him? No, I don't think so. I can be. I enjoy listening to my Shiksha Guru's lectures. I can listen to him for hours together without any problem. I can hear Radheshyam Prabhu for hours, and I will not get bored at all. Whenever I'm in this situation where I'm feeling frustrated, I go and listen to them.
Radheshyam Das, Pune wale.
Yeah, yeah. Because his points and etc. that really helps me. Uh, like, if when you are absolutely um, feeling yourself not able to control your desires or not able to control your anger, chant very loudly Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, in order to control your mind during that time. And that really works. So I go to the park and then I shout very loudly. But people cannot find anything, that ये पागल हो गया क्या आदमी, like.
Yes, yes.
See, everyone goes through these emotional cycles, ups and downs. It's not like me only or somebody else, but everyone goes through that. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So it is like that. So now, coming to the next verse. Dhube navriyate vahi. Verse 38. धूमेनाव्रियते वह्निर्
धूमेतावृते
Somenavire
वह्निः
यथादर्शो मलेन च
यथादर्शो मलेन च
यथो लभेनावर्तो गर्भास्
यथोपलेनागतो
Garbhas
गर्भास्
तथा तेनेदम् अवृतम्
तथा
तथा
तेनेदम्
तेनेदम्
अवृतम्.
avratam.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. As fire is covered by smoke, as a mirror is covered by dust, or as the embryo is covered by the womb, the living entity is similarly covered by different degrees of this lust. Everyone, now it's covered in this. Everyone is covered. Nobody is, left alone in this one. So, like, what kind of enemy is lust and how it attacks? We can see the analogies and the species and the nature it covers. Fire and smoke is humans. Nature of covering is thin and penetrable. Dust on the mirror is animals. Nature of covering very thick and tough to penetrate because their consciousness just is not developed so much. Even if there is a mirror on the dust on the mirror, okay, they cannot understand anything. They don't even know whether to wipe it out and then see their face because they don't know whether this mirror will show them their face and whom are they seeing in the mirror. They see in the mirror and they will start barking, thinking that some other dog has come in front of him. Have you seen those videos, where dog comes and sees himself in the mirror and start barking, and then he's पंजा मारता है उसके ऊपर वो.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yes.
it is like that. So their consciousness has not been developed to that extent. That's why they do these kind of things. Yeah. Then we take the example of child in the womb. And there is a Shantarasa, there is a plant. Child in the womb doesn't understand anything, does he? The analogy is plants. Plants also does not have the consciousness which is developed. So it is super thick. It is penetrable only after a long effort. It is penetrable, but after a long effort. So, like, there is a book called, in Marathi, there is a book called Ghari Dhaneshwar. Every house there is a Dhaneshwar. Okay. So when Mrigank was in the womb, Charu, so that time Charu used to read that book, Ghari Dhaneshwar. So they say that by reading such books, the child who is going to born gets good vibes and he becomes intelligent. So Mrigank is intelligent, but I don't know whether it was the effect of that book. It could be. At least Charu tried doing that. And she used to read very good stories before she goes out to sleep because Ashtanga Hridayam there is a book in the Ayurveda as well. That also is somebody can read, Ashtanga Hridayam. It's not very easy to understand. It is one of the grantha that Ayurveda Acharyas, they refer to. And it covers whole lot of, what do you call, issues with the body. See, there is not one single medicine in Ayurveda which will be for everyone. So depending on Kapha Vata Pitta, its ability, its combinations, and your habits, etc., genetic issues, everything put together, then it becomes a medicine for you, for somebody else, somebody else. So it's a mixture of many things. You don't have like paracetamol सबके लिए एक बना दिया. कुछ भी दुख रहा है बॉडी में, पैरासिटामोल, पेनाडोल और क्रोसिन in India. Right? So it is not in the Ayurveda. So similarly, Ashtanga Hridayam talks about many things. And it is for us to understand, and the people, those who are learning Ayurveda, for them to understand, it's a different thing. So as I took the example of plants, so plant cannot do anything. It will, by on their own, it will take time for them to understand. So is lust a thing or it is just a desire or feeling? It is both. Krishna is talking that it is a thing as it covers and it is our enemy. So there are lusty impressions which is stored in the mind, and there are lusty desires which are triggered in the mind. So lust impression means we have seen some images or heard something because of maybe the porn movies are available on the internet and people are having different garbage in the mind. So impression is already there. But that doesn't mean that we should have feeling and allow to take control of those feelings. This is a statement. However, can we control somebody's desire because he has already seen those movies? The impressions are already there on the mind, and those impressions to fructify, anything can trigger. And that trigger depends on how you control your desire. And that's where your practice of Krishna consciousness comes into picture, or the association comes into picture. So this covering of the control, it makes us spiritual, or the covering is thin, then it makes us spiritually forgetfulness. Yeah. So it's just all, maybe I would say it's an illusion. For example, people go to watch movies in theater. There are two stages. In the progression of illusion, first is when the lights are turned off in the uh, in the theater, right? So lights are turned off and people forget reality. And when movie starts, it drags people in. फिर वो मूवी के अंदर जाते हैं and they start. See, from one illusion, you get into the other illusion. First is when you buy the tickets. Before buying the tickets, oh, we are going for a movie, we are going for a movie. So then you start thinking, oh, that happiness, कि हम movie जा रहे हैं. Like. And then when we buy the ticket, oh, now we bought the tickets. And then when we sit and the lights are off, now the movie is going to start. And movie starts and we are into another world. It's a forgetfulness of our present world. We are getting into another world which may or which does not exist actually. Like making movies like, Spider-Man or Superman, what kind of happiness does it give you? It's pure illusion. It's a pure illusion. Or even, for example, Gangs of Wasseypur. Have you seen anybody has seen Gangs of Wasseypur? Okay. So total Gangs of Wasseypur is only killing, 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 killing. What kind of fun is that? There are more than 200, murders in that movie. More than 200 murders. What kind of fun is that? कोई भी आ रहा गन उठा के ठ्यूं करके मार दे रहा है बस. But people have those kind of expectation from the movies. That's why this filmmaker makes that. They want to go into that kind of illusion. So you get that movie. So it's all about the forgetfulness of the current situation going into an illusion where we don't, in fact, find any happiness at all. Right? So this is, 38. So we talked about the 39th also we talked about, right, today? Am I right? About the material illusion. Then we talked about the consciousness, higher consciousness. Yes. So we will talk about 39 as well. Avritam jnanametena. I can't hear you.
Hello, Hare Krishna.
Avritam
Yeah.
jnana metena
Jnanido nitya vairida.
jnanino
Jnanino
nityavairina
Nitya
Kama rupena kaunteya.
kamarupena
Kamarupena
kaunteya
Kaunteya
Dushpuredana cha.
dushpurena
Dushpurena
lena
Nalena
cha.
Cha.
Shishakti Bhate, please read the translation.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thus, the wise living entity's pure consciousness becomes covered by his eternal enemy in the form of lust, which is never satisfied and which burns like fire.
This is very true.
The wise living entity's pure consciousness becomes covered by his eternal enemy in the form of lust. So it is a covering. So that's very clearly Krishna is saying that that's a covering that you get. And that covering is an illusion. So what covers is described here. It covers jnanam, the knowledge of soul, who is lower. It is eternal enemy. Why it is such an enemy which goes lifetime after lifetime? In terms of identity, strategy, and longevity, or it is the worst enemy. So identity, most of the time, we don't come to know who is our enemy. People don't become angry on lust, but become angry on who is obstructing lust. We think our enemy are outside, but actually the enemy is, where is the enemy? Renuka?
Within us.
It is inside, right? The enemy is actually sitting inside us, and we are trying to blame somebody else. You are not giving me what I want, so you are the obstruction in my life. So the enemy, now we are able to identify that enemy is inside. Now, what is the strategy? So when enemy attacks us, it is used to its force to conquer us. But lust uses our own force to destroy us. How is that? There is no force to do wrong things, but the person does wrong things oneself. For example, computer virus uses computer resources to destroy computer. But who is responsible for doing that? Because we have, we get fascinated by something to download from internet. Yeah, अच्छा लग रहा है तो download करते हैं उसको without checking. And nowadays people don't use any antiviruses or anti-malware on the laptops, etc. We just want to, download it and then want to execute it. So अपने पैर पे खुद कुल्हाड़ी मार रहे हैं. So we go into the fantasy and we download ourselves, we try to execute it, and then it becomes self-destruction. So here the indulgence will aggravate the fire, and fire will not be extinguished. It will not be subdued. Is that within dharmic arrangement of marriage, also lust can be aggravated? And then what is the point of having grahastha ashram? If lust is always fueled by indulgence, then what is the point of grahastha ashram? In grahastha ashram, it is not that indulgence brings purification, but it is the observance of dharma brings purification. Now, what is dharma here? See, it's very important to understand what is dharma here. That is, it's a difference between grahastha and grahamedi. Grahamedi is the one who is living in the grahastha ashram but enjoying only the the sex life and all those sense gratifications. So that is called grahamedi. So though person is attached to one single object of love, that is his wife, or wife is object of love is only husband, they are following the regulative principles, but they are only involved in that life. They are not doing anything else. So these are called graha, though they are in the grahasthashram. See, like brahmachari ashram, grahasthashram is there, then sannyas ashram is there. So ashram means where you are serving Krishna by living in that ashram, right? In the grahasthashram, it is allowed to do the sex enjoyment only for the reproduction of Krishna conscious children. However, if someone doesn't follow that preposition and he goes in enjoying only the other part of it which suits or convenient to him or her, then it becomes a grahamedi life. There could be many scenarios in which the wife doesn't want to living like that, but husband wants to live like that. So that there will be lots of issues. So that's a different story altogether. However, here the definition of grahamedi and grahastha is what I'm talking about. So sense gratification is one part of life, but in center of their life is dharma, that is Krishna. So as criminals are shackled, similarly, those who are criminals or disobedient to the laws of the Lord are shackled by sex life. Unless one thinks that he is body, he cannot be indulged in sex life, and thinking he is body in the cause of bondage. And his body is the cause of bondage. It is a bondage of misidentification, and further bondage increases when we act at bodily level. So the sex desire binds the soul to the body. Why it binds? Because it has sex desire to fulfill it. And for that, it needs the body. So that is how the soul who doesn't want to serve Krishna is bound in bodily conception of life by having that dirty desire. So in the bodily conception of life, it will suffer more by birth, old age, disease, death, and threefold miseries, which are Adi Bhautika, Adi Devika, and Adhyatmika. So material advancement on the basis of sense gratification means increasing the duration of the material existence of a living entity. As in the modern time, there is more option available to entangle oneself in the lusty desires. In America, the amount of money made by the porn industry is much more than a football and a baseball industry. So many people are caught in that. If the definition of success is sense gratification, that is pointless. Most of the funding for research comes in science from defense industry or from consumer industry, and consumer industry is about eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. What kind of advertisement do we see on the television? It's all about eating, beauty. It's all makeup, etc. Right? It's very sad. But what to do? But this consumerism has killed all the limits that one should be able to follow. And that's where we are failing to seek the seek the advancement in Krishna consciousness. If you have read the purport, and Srila Prabhupada said that there is some amount of happiness. Someone can say that, no, there is a big happiness, and so many people are written on this, and movies are made on this. But actually, this is a huge amount of exaggeration, as the capacity of body to enjoy is very limited. That so-called enjoyment is ultimately enemy of a person because it traps the person. The mouse is trapped, and mouse are trapped, or the fish trapped by bait, and the fish is pulled out of water and dead. It is ultimately enemy of sense enjoyer. Right? So it's a very tedious way to to solve this issue. However, when we look at the dharma is Krishna, then we are at the right path. If we are not understanding that my path or my dharma is Krishna, then we are at the wrong path. Do you understand this? Right? So there are only 3 verses remaining in this chapter. I think next week we should be able to finish it, and then we'll start 4th chapter. Yeah. So 40, 41, and 42, 43. All right. So let's have Vaishnava Pranam and we close. Thanks, Ray, Varun, Prabhu, and Shri Shakti Mataji to join the class today. Others probably, hopefully, are seeing the or watching the
YouTube.
recorded classes. They are not able to attend. We can understand. Probably I'll go this evening to Padmaja Mataji's house. Me and Charu both will be going to see her. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripasindubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Anant Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Radha Gopinatha Bhagavan. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.